Guy Garvey.
And he's had the singer on recently for an interview, and it's just a brilliant album all round.
Which tune have you chosen for us?
Mistaken for Strangers.
Brilliant. Okay, we'll have a listen to it, and we'll talk to you again in a sec. Hang on, Nick.
Cool.
Cheers. That's a choice of Nick. Sorry, I'm turning myself up there. That's embarrassing. I was enjoying the tune. That's the National, and that's a choice of one of our listeners, Nick. The tune was Mistaken for Strangers. Nick, you still there?
Yeah.
Thank you very much indeed for contributing that. That was great. We'll see you, I hope, at Steve Fest next year.
Definitely.
Great. I love the idea of it just being in hotel rooms, because I wish I could spend my entire life in bed. I'm trying to work that, into my lifestyle in every way. I've got at the moment, that's one of the reasons I went to Roche-Beaubois looking at the sofas. I wanted a sofa bed. I can have that in the lounge when no one's around, just open the sofa bed out, watch TV in bed. It's fantastic. That's the dream. So we'll certainly have that going on at Steve Fest. Well, I really appreciate the choice. Thank you very much indeed, Nick.
Cheers,
mate. Thank you. How do people get in touch if they want to make a musical choice?
They can musical choice. They can go to the website 6music, bbc.co.uk/6music, and then go to the list of shows. You'll find Stephen Merchant Show, and click on Make a Suggestion.
Perfect. Thank you very much indeed. So we've been asking for your suggestions of what you'd like to see at Steve Fest 2009. We're worried that we can't use that name. Any other thoughts on the name?
Yeah, potentially Merch Fest, or some other things.
Festival.
Oh yeah, Festival.
Yeah.
Festival. Yeah, no, Festival.
It's quite good.
Festival's very good.
Was it Jim in Bristol?
Pete in Bristol.
Good work, Pete. Yeah, I think that's good. So, yes. What was it?
Festival. Not that difficult to remember, because it's the word festival.
Okay, no. Festival. Yeah. All right, so Festival.
Yeah. Say with that voice and that face.
Festival.
Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, what would you like to see? We've had lots of responses.
We've had, Steve K texted in. Steve, get the bands only to do sound checks.
That's great.
Just that's a 1 2 1 2.
Yeah, but it's not even the band, it's just their roadies. Coming on, ladies and gentlemen, the roadies for the Kaiser Chiefs.
Yeah.
1 2 2 2 1 2.
Andy, could you get a guitar check this guitar? That sort of thing.
2.
Yeah.
1. Audience goes crazy. They go off again. Then it's the next. Then Boris Johnson comes on and introduce the next one. That'd be fantastic.
Paul in Northampton says, Steve, I'd like to see at the festival stilted beefeaters playing softball. If that's okay.
Stilted beefeaters.
Yeah, playing softball.
So beefeaters that you would see at the Tower of London.
Yeah.
But they're on stilts.
Yeah.
They're playing softball.
I'm assuming that's a reference to your height or something.
Right.
But, that's all good.
That's cool. No, I don't mind that. Yeah, we can champion the high.
One more. Steve, you can only... It's a reference presumably to the kind of Rufus area. At Steve Fest, you can only dance if you have a dance card and you're asked to dance by a man. Kathy in Manchester painting a cupboard. Thank you, Kathy.
Yeah, so
I agree with that.
Well, so particularly in the posh zone. Actually, I think all throughout the festival. Yeah, because I'm a big fan of returning to the etiquette of days gone by.
That's right.
So everyone has to wear a hat.
Yes.
And a cape.
Yeah.
And you hate dancing, so that would be really good.
Right, well, so someone would have to come over, and say, would you care for this dance? Or would you care for this mosh? You accompany each other, you waltz into the centre. For the mosh pit, it'll be like when you see in a period drama, when they do that very civilised dance where everyone kind of... It's like that, but they're just pogoing, headbutting each other, and throwing, pee at the stage. So excellent suggestions. You've got some as well, Sammy.
I've got a couple. I think you need a dancing bear and a lot of patio heaters at Steve Fest, says Laura.
Right.
And can Screwdriver, the Nazi band, play at Steve Fest, please? And also the S Club Juniors, and that's from the show friend John Ronson.
I'm not sure we should have Nazi bands.
Well, John disagrees.
I think that might be a step too far. So we're not going to have S Club Juniors, but we can have the other one.
Jim's emailed in T-shirts with absolutely no slogans or amusing text. In fact, you'll only be allowed to wear plain beige T-shirts.
Oh, great.
Good idea. Carol in Austin, Texas, she's not at Glastonbury. She says attendees should listen to performers from inside idling SUVs /4x4s on their radios like a drive-in theatre.
But in order again to fight against the eco principles of Glastonbury, you have to leave the engine running at all times.
Yeah, and I like this
with the aircon on.
Good business sense here from D, who's emailed in. There will be a pro-scalping policy on ticket sales. Everyone must provide evidence that they did not buy the ticket direct themselves, that they bought it for a price way above face value, preferably on eBay, and the more ridiculous and over-the-odds price that you pay, the closer you get to the stage.
That's fantastic. That's a brilliant idea. No, this is great. Well, continue to get in touch if you have suggestions for what you'd like to see at Steve Fest.
Text us on 64046 or email stephen.6music@bbc.co.uk. UK.
She's going to be down there. We are still playing some tunes from this year's Glastonbury, but none of it will compare with the kind of acts we're going to see at Steve Fest. In fact, we need to get your thoughts in this last 15 minutes or so about what, before we get to the pigeonhole tracks, what bands you'd like to see, because that's one of the key thing. What's the entertainment going to be? And but anyway, this year at Glasgow has all been kicking off. Black Kids, I think, did a storming set, and here's a tune from there last night.
Six Music.
Recorded yesterday afternoon on the other stage at Glastonbury. That's Black Kids, and I'm not going to teach your boyfriend how to dance. And if you have not had enough Glasgow coverage on Six Music this weekend, there will be a wrap-up show at 10 o'clock tonight with best tracks and live interviews and stuff from over the weekend. So there we are. You can tune into that and enjoy that. So we're talking about a much more interesting festival. It is Festival, which we're hoping to launch next year. It's dedicated entirely to me. And one of the things we've not talked about is what kind of music's going to be played, the entertainment that's going to be there. I'm very keen, obviously, to have my favourite bands, reuniting, being seen. But not the obvious angle, because that's been catered to in all the other. It's been done. So, for instance, you might expect to see Saturday night headliners. They said it would never happen. From the Smiths, Andy Rourke and Mike Joyce. Yeah! And they come on and they just do percussion versions of Smiths tunes. There's no vocals, there's no guitars. That'd be fantastic. Oh, I love that. Love it. What would you like to see there, Sammy?
I'd like to see two separate stages. One would be the versus stage. I'm not talking about in a soul wax cool kind of way. I'd like to settle celebrity arguments by making them cover popular songs. Whoever does the best cover wins. And obviously we're on the judging panel for that. So people like maybe some musical acts, but musical act against musical act. But then maybe it's just newspaper editors head to head. And they have to do a musical cover of a step song. And whoever does the best cover wins.
That sounds fantastic. I'd be straight there.
And on the other stage, or on the main stage, all the artists have to put their track listings into a bag. You pick a track listing out and you play it blind.
I look forward to it. Yeah, no, it's great. We have to go to a quick trial, then we have a musical choice from Harry before the news.
BBC Six Music.
Harry, quickly, what's your musical choice?
Well, start of the year, Steve, I played a track by King Khan and the Shrines. Everyone loved it. He's just signed to Vice Records and he's got a compilation album out of his best stuff. This track is called I Don't Have to Tell You.
Harry's musical choice on this week's Steve Show. What was it, Harry?
It was King Khan and the Shrines with I Don't Have to Tell You.
Thank you very much indeed. We'll be back after the news, delving into the pigeonhole, getting our opinions here of 3 new releases. Back after the news.
On digital.
Husker Du, who played at Glastonbury in 1987, and I did not see them. The track Could You Be The One? So we've been playing tunes by bands that played at Glastonbury in the past that we missed out, and even though we were annoyed at the beginning of the show for not being down at the festival, we've cheered ourselves up by the announcement that next year it's all going to be happening at Festival, Steve, the word Steve. So we're all looking forward to that enormously, and although we have to leave that to one side shortly and delve into new music that we found in the pigeonhole, I know that you had some suggestions of the musical acts you'd like to see down there with.
I just had one more, Steve, which is I think a lot of Festival should be about avoiding disappointment, being sure to have a good time, and I think a good way of doing that would be to play VT of old gigs by very, very good bands who used to be good, and getting the band to mime along to their previously superior performances.
So their excellent performances from the past.
I'm thinking of Bon Jovi and the Stones just slamming out some of their kind of early 80s gigs.
Sure.
And just miming along to it.
Do you know, I think as well, just to, and this, because this always improves any piece of music, Jules Holland accompanying on Boogie Woogie piano for every single band that's played.
Every single band.
Yeah, he's on stage constantly for 48 hours playing Boogie Woogie guitar, and other bands just rifle on. He feels it. He's still going.
Yeah.
He's still going. They come in, they play. He just joins them in, and then as they exit, he's still going. Endlessly, fantastic.
Constant.
They'll have red, raw, bloody hands by the end of the concert. So anyway, yes, we've got to delve into the pigeonhole. Tunes that are new to us, maybe new to the listener, and they are released soon. First up, Lady Hawk. I'm sure people have heard this already, but if you only tune into the Six Music channel for this show, then you may not be familiar yet with Pip Brown, and this is released tomorrow. See what you guys think. It's called Paris is Burning.
Paris is
Lady Hawk, otherwise known as Pip Brown, formerly in the band Two-Lane Blacktop from New Zealand, but now solo, named Lady Hawk, and Paris is Burning is released tomorrow. Sammy, would you like to see Lady Hawk performing at Festival?
I think if she was to perform at Festival, it would have to be a visual representation of herself and the song. She'd have to be constructed a miniature Paris, set fire to it, whilst wearing strapped-on wings, gigantic eyes, and being completely nude.
That sounds fantastic. Although one thing I'm afraid I'm gonna have to ban at Festival is fancy dress of any kind. I loathe fancy dress. I can't bear it. It annoys me. I don't want the hassle of it. I don't want to see people dressed up. I want to see people just quite formally dressed, as Rufus would be. Chinos, a smart button-down collar shirt for the gentlemen, perhaps an evening ball gown for the ladies. Okay, you're not welcome in this. And there will be a very strict door policy, because the thing is, you know how much I hate bouncers at nightclubs. I can't bear the people, but I'll be on the other side of the fence. So this time I'm going to have very strict dress code, and they'll have to be no sight clothes. No sight clothes.
No football colours.
No football colours, no sight clothes. Harry, you've been very much on top of Festival. You've been very pro it. Lady Hawk, is she going to feature?
Well, I didn't see Bananarama when they played Glastonbury in '84, so it'd be a treat to see Lady Hawk. Oh god, yeah, no, that'd be a huge treat.
It's endless 80s music now, it seems, bothering the charts, or what sounds like 80s music. You're a big fan, surely, Ruth?
Not really. I'm not. No, I'm not. Yeah.
That's the thought process as it's actually happening.
A lot of people are saying he could have spent the 3 minutes the song was playing to formulate an opinion, but no. But that's good. Don't worry, because he's too busy. He's thinking about Festival.
He wasn't, Steve. He was eyeing up my napkins.
Ooh.
Someone else who's thinking about Festival is Dan in Camberwell, who's doing the washing up. He's managing to do the washing up and think of things to do at
multitasking.
He's saying he'd like to see military motorbike display teams and police dogs doing obstacle courses. Everyone loves
fantastic
obstacle courses.
It's going to be very much like an old school Fate.
Yeah.
There will be the opportunity to have a look around a fire engine.
Oh yes.
And you can rummage around for. That's definitely going to be there.
Trying to guess how many small things are in a bigger thing. I always love that.
Yeah. So marbles in a big jar.
For example.
Yeah. Children in a tank. I think they had at one school. That's at posh schools. Actually, taking on the school theme, I tell you who never really gets to perform anymore are girls who are about maybe 14 or 15. And in my day, it would always be two girls in leotards, perhaps doing some kind of interpretative dance to "Holiday" by Madonna.
Yeah.
They would normally start by lying on the floor, head down, and then slowly rise up and sort of dance around. And initially you're like, oh yeah, well done, you've cooked. But then after about 2 minutes, you're really sick and tired of it. But all those people that did that at school, now maybe in their 20s or 30s, they can revive that at long last, get together. It'd be like Britain's Got Talent. They can perform those pieces on stage.
Or what about the Animal Man? The guy who used to come in and like bring a chinchilla. You don't see him anymore.
Was that ever at school? I never remember seeing that.
Yeah, we got a tame fox that had all its teeth knocked out.
Exactly.
The best fox he could find, was it? In Newcastle was the best he could find. Sorry, guys.
It was so greasy.
Yeah, he was on the way there, but the fox gave him some lip, so he just had to teach it a lesson. Okay, good. So we'll keep these ideas coming, because much as we're listening to these tunes, but really we're still preoccupied with Festival. One more.
Andy in Cardiff says there should be a ban on banners and flags at Festival. Everyone's allowed to put a message on a plain white sheet of A4 paper, which can be laminated or placed in a Polly Pocket to protect it from rain. It can only be held at maximum chest heights and never over the head, so as not to obstruct the view of other festival attenders.
That's another thing.
That's really cool.
Consideration for other festival goers.
That's
absolutely fantastic. I really appreciate that. Okay, after this trail, we've got a tune. You may not have heard this one yet. Pharrell Williams, Julian Casablancas, and Santa Gold teamed up together. Have a listen.
BBC Six Music.
There is a particular sneaker brand that is celebrating, 100 years?
100 years.
And if you go to their website, you can download that, I believe, free of charge. That is My Drive-Thru, featuring Pharrell Williams, Julian Casablancas from The Strokes, and Santa Gold. And so there we are. We're just reviewing some of the new music that's landed in the pigeonhole this week, and that is one of the tunes. It's available now to download free of charge. Rufus.
Steve, not since the Beastie Boys Sabotage have I so enjoyed listening to a song and imagining it's the theme tune to my own cop show. I can definitely imagine listening to that, running around